sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Sippin', I'm 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 sippin'.
Ready? Make sure your mic is situated. You got the on the scene microphone. You've been blessed today.
Yeah.
A little bit of Soph in your life.
I love Soph. She's so fun and complimentary.
Nah, she's an awesome person. I compare her to Angie Martinez because Angie always makes you feel like your family somehow. Like she's inviting and she's also mature at the same time. She don't stoop down to get you there. She bigs you up where you at.
Right.
And I feel like she kind of carries it like that.
Tilt your mic a little bit towards Rose. There you go.
I feel like a lot of times that's how she is. She gives you that. She just makes people comfortable, whether they know who she is or not. You do something similar too, but it's not in the Angie way. Yours is different. This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammie, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together. I don't have the South with me. Shout out to Sonny Bricks, my fabulous co-host. But I do have Glocawear family with me today. I have Miss Rose herself in the situation with me.
What's up, Sammy? It's good to be here. I'm feeling good. Today's a good day. I got up, got outside. It's a, beautiful weather.
We just got to see live entertainment and all of that.
Yeah, the drummers were dope. Yeah,
shout out to the Sixers drill team, man. We just left an event and decided since it's been a while of us talking about getting this young lady on here, there's no time like the present. So I appreciate you on the whim.
We did it.
I ain't even had to get her drunk first. I don't think I gotta do that to Rose. Some people you gotta like.
Let's go
pod. Yeah, let's pod. You gotta get them there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm ready. You know, here we are. Boom.
But you're somebody that when it comes to just speaking on Glocawear, you was at Glocawear before I was at Glocawear. And when I came to Glocawear, you made sure I was comfortable in a lot of different ways. And you were one of the people that has done what I've done. Whereas at some point or another, you wind up on everybody's show.
Yo, everybody's show.
Like we the rotation host.
yeah. Like you just happen to be there.
Oh shit, I need you. Yeah. Come on. But then it winds up, at least when I watch you do it, you wind up adding that Rose to it. It winds up being a little bit of you
the
on
Rose
the show.
Factor.
But explain what the Rose Factor would be.
I can't even explain because
what do you intentionally bring to your day in and day out or your media or entertainment profile? What do you try to provide for people?
Positivity. I try, and even that's like personal, because we all have our ebbs and flows. But I try to be that person. I try.
Because like Rose is Rose. Rose always nice. Rose is a great name. All of that cool shit. But even with your platform, you discussing mental health.
Yeah.
You bringing in art therapists. You doing things that like Glocawear is Glocawear. And
it's
we ain't gangster. But we ain't necessarily art therapy, which you would think you would see if you come through there on a random.
Right.
But you do that on a regular for a purpose, right?
Yeah, we have monthly segment with an art enthusiast who, she has her own programs and what have you, but we collaborate and I let her just, bring me what you, like you said, bring yourself, bring what it is that we enjoy about you. And, she brings a different project, something that we can use at home.
How did you connect with her originally?
Through networking, through other people, of course, who are
on
they're on the holistic healing tip. So I was looking for an art therapist, and they recommended her, and we connected.
No, that's ill because
she's been on for over a year now.
Y'all seem to be working together well because y'all been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, she's been on for over a year now, and it's I just let her bring her, like I said, bring you, because that's what we enjoy.
What's some of the main things you learned through her process, and what has brought to your awareness?
With Mar,
because are you artistic? Like you regularly get busy?
I don't regularly get busy.
Used to?
I used to.
Okay.
Yeah,
because that's important.
That was. I think that was like one of the things I've been trying to do is enjoy perhaps childhood things that incorporate.
I bought a bunch of coloring books and color pencils for the pandemic. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. Listen, it's mindless therapy. That's art therapy. If you go to an art therapist and you have a session, they are going to have different techniques, and they might say, hey, try coloring. You know, that's how I got introduced to it years ago.
Because we all have coping mechanisms and various ones.
Yeah.
And that could help a lot.
Yeah, you know, a lot of folks respond, or just like they learn differently. You cope differently. You respond to different things, and that's what I try to do. I try to bring relatable, or folks that you can relate to in different ways. You know, we've had like the art therapist. We have financial wellness. We have I've had sports figures, boxers on the show to talk about the discipline and the mindfulness and all that self-discipline that you have to go through. It's a mental.
Which is, I was about to say, you find similarities in all of these people, though.
Yeah.
Based on what they did to get where they're at. Because it takes something to do what the average person isn't readily trying to grasp or attain.
Right.
It takes something to get there. But that's dope. Like, my last gig, right? I was working with kids. I worked at a mental health place. So we had therapists that came around and worked with them regularly, but it's one therapist like per group, or they might rotate, but whatever it is, they're not doing the same form of therapy every time.
Right.
They might come in and do dance one week. They might come in and do, you know what I mean, we sit down and watch this another week. They might do a group activity another week. They might draw and color on another week. So and for Christmas, they had all got these jumbo coloring books in their Christmas packages. And you know how kids are. You wind up finding these things all over the place, and we just put them in the closet. I started pulling them motherfuckers out, colored pencils that they wasn't using, and doing big-ass Spider-Man drawings like this big. You know what I mean?
Now they're interested in doing it.
And now they sitting at the table. Bro, I done got through my man Shab over there, even though he don't want y'all to know. I done got through entire shifts just coloring.
Yeah.
12 hours sitting, like, if you watch me on camera, but
that's
every
taking
time,
that
there
bit
was a
of
different group of kids sitting around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my unit was under control.
Yeah.
I took a break to serve food and went back to coloring.
I'm just going to color.
You'd be surprised, man, the little stuff, man. Riding a bike, getting out and getting fresh air and jogging.
Yeah, you know, you gotta, as people call it, grounding or earthing.
Yeah,
you know, you
grounding is a
need to
big
get
thing
out there
I've been hearing about.
and connect with nature. You know,
Richard Pryor said everybody need a little sunshine on their face.
Yeah,
That's one of the realest things Rich ever said. Everybody need a little sunshine on their face. People took that for granted. Like, no, that's real
that's real
shit.
until you can't come outside for whatever reason. Like
The damn-demic or the pandemic or whatever you call it, pandemic.
I mean, even think about you know, the folks that have chronic illnesses, invisible illnesses,
Or
like,
live
all
in
those
certain
types of
regions
things.
where-
Right, like Alaska. Alaska.
Like, damn, Philly is depressing enough sometimes. I can't imagine just be dark for 40
There's a high depression rate in Maine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that's real.
And speaking of which, you're not from Philly, so let's not.
Yeah,
I know
it's
you never
true.
want to misrepresent, so let's get to that.
That's true. Yeah, no, I'm from. I grew up in Bangor, Maine. 4 hours
Spell
north
that.
of Boston. Bangor.
Okay, I thought it was an H in there, but okay.
People from the Midwest call it Bangor. Like there's an E. There's no E.
I mean, Bangor.
Bangor.
You gotta be from there to respect the enunciation.
Yeah, I guess so. What would you call it? It's on the map when they show the weather. What would you call it? Bangor.
Bang. I'll probably put
B-A-N-G-O-R.
an N in the beginning. I don't know how the N will
Oh
come
man,
out. I just know my tendencies. I would see
I
band.
want to know your English teacher.
I would see band, and then when I would see gore, like even when you said Bangor,
Bang.
I was expecting
bang.
the H after the G.
Okay,
So
Right.
my English teacher wasn't crazy.
I get it.
But what's it like? You said 4 hours from Boston. 4
Yeah.
hours north of Boston.
Right, because most people know.
So you damn near,
It's on the way to Canada, yes, but not near Canada.
you something like Canadian.
Yeah, no. No.
I'm picking with you.
No, they used to have Canadian days though, and
'Cause it's that close.
Oh my gosh, they would come in tour buses to the mall because it was
They would
like
come down.
They would come down, yeah. They would, they would call them Canadian
You know that don't even
days.
sound right, right?
And they would come down on these big tour buses and just like they were savages in the mall. It was to the point of like, say you're holding this glass, looking at it. If they want it, nah, you're coming with me, babe.
But it was a time where if you traveled to Canada, Europe, certain places, they would buy the jeans off your ass. Because we had shit they didn't have. But they had all the shit that we was trying to, and they charge us.
You ever do that?
$1,000 a pair of jeans. What?
You
Sell
wearing
somebody?
something and somebody wants it and you sell it to them?
I've given something to people before. I've never been in a position where it was something valuable enough to sell.
Yeah.
I've given away like
People,
that shirt off your
listen,
back
people,
shit. I'm into that.
People will buy things.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like sometimes.
And even if you don't think it's valuable, they want it for whatever reason they like it. They
a lot of times though, when you travel, you're put in a position of prominence. You're at this resort, or you're on top of this whatever at this house that you rented, and then you don't see these people until you go down into, and it's like at that point, you know what? Make some money off it. You know what I mean? Like you can have it because ultimately, you know how much shit I got upstairs that I don't wear. You know what I mean?
Stuff.
Like we ridiculous at some point. Now, if it gets out of hand,
right,
then that's different. But like little pieces, even just being home, I've had homies that'd be like, "Yo, that jacket crazy, bro. Give me a hoodie to wear home." Like, you know what I mean? Because I fucks with you like that, and it will look good on you. Go ahead, do your thing.
Right.
Like, I'm not one of those kind of people, so I understand that they do pay for it. But when you ask me if I've ever sold it, no. Have you ever sold things off you?
I was standing in a Walmart line, and somebody liked my jacket, and it really wasn't nothing special. It was a poncho for real, and they wanted it, and I was like, bet, like. It's yours.
That's dope though. I mean, at the end of the day.
But like you said, like to me, like honestly, I wanted it because I was wearing it because it was warm. But to me, it really didn't have value.
Yeah, but there's still
that's why to me it was a come up.
There's still an exchange there though. Like there's still a barter there. Because if you felt good to do it, then that's enough. That made you feel better than keeping that jacket with her.
Yeah, I had another jacket at home.
And I think people put too much on, like all of this shit is bartering.
Yeah.
If they turn every coin digital, the black market is still going to exist.
I was just talking.
You know what I mean? Like, you go ahead to swap some shit to get some shit. Period. Like, it's always going to be that. But sometimes what you get out of an exchange, even if there's a physical exchange of property that you don't get cash back from, is the exchange.
Right.
Is the exchange. So that's why I be fucking with you on your show, because you're somebody that I know is aware of these things.
Yeah.
And you find a way to bring it to people that think they cool too cool to hear it.
Thanks.
you know that's
you know
what?
Doing. Like, and I wondered how that was gonna work when I first switched, platforms because
you was heavy on an artist.
Yeah, I did the artist
promotion.
thing and that, and it wasn't. I got to a point where it wasn't
fulfilling.
Because
you was killing that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Your network is ridiculous.
It wasn't exciting to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, let me do something I'm passionate about. And I've been a mental health advocate for years and just been building, working on myself and my interpersonal relationships and things of that nature. And I wanted to be able to share that because, we're all capable of it. But a lot of us get stuck in that parking lot, of complacency.
I'm wondering if you ever felt like maybe this is what I should have done from the beginning, because at that point I would probably disagree. I
don't think like with Glocawear or just the podcast type thing.
When you were doing
I needed that transition period because I needed to build the network of people,
exactly what I'm
followers, people that could respect me
for who you are, what you bring,
right. And then when I transitioned, they were all like I said, I was a little worried, but then they're like, no, like you did the right thing because people need to hear this. Like it's time. Yeah,
it's time.
Everybody's
not
talking about
because it's popping, but because shit has hit the fan beyond what we've ever seen before, whether it was popping or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
On
it was
like a major
it started
level.
getting lit, and then everybody got stressed out at one time.
Yeah.
So what better time to make sure that there's somewhere available, because we have an advantage on Glocawear where it's on YouTube. You don't gotta watch it when I'm on air. Right. You can watch it 3 weeks from now when you feel some type of way and you trying to figure out how to figure out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's still
Find
there.
One that fits you for
it's
that
still
moment.
there for them.
Yep.
If they say, damn, I wanted the art joint, she ain't do art this week, you can go back 2 weeks and she probably was there because within the next 2 weeks she'll be there again.
Right.
So like I think that it is important in that like just as the way is. Maybe if you got a house full of people and y'all want just turn on something and not really pay attention to something in the background, you can put on Fly Day because it's going to be a bunch of music and turning up.
Right.
But you could do that same thing months down the line with mental situations that I did see. I was tuned in there one day. I caught 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, like I said, I like to plant the seeds. They may not be relevant now, but you're going to take that and it's going to be in the back of your head somewhere.
They're always relevant. It's just everybody's not always open or knowing that they need them.
They're not ready to apply it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's really what it is.
But what was the thought process? You really just got to the point you said, I've been doing mental health work for so many years, and I wasn't so excited about this. So did you just say, yo, Took?
I did. I said, I'm switching.
I know what Took said.
Yeah, he's like,
whatever you want to do.
Right.
I know what Took said.
Yeah, right.
Shout out my OG.
Yeah, everyone was supportive of it. And then,
Because I know what you told me.
Yeah, I was getting good reviews and stuff, and people were into it. So
I feel like you was kind of already doing it, though. Like, I feel like at some point in your conversations, your direction was always kind of the same when you're talking to these artists, as far as, like, wrapping their heads around their goals and what is your journey, what are you trying to accomplish. Like, I've seen you present that so many different ways, but I think that's a slippery slope. You bang your head against brick walls all the time,
and that's what I think was frustrating me, because I felt like I wasn't getting a good that good conversation that I wanted to have. Right, it was hard to have conversation, and so I was like, yo, let me take this in a different direction, because I want those conversations to be meaningful. And I wasn't getting what I wanted. So
I'm gonna say it this way: there's a reason why you on Sippin with Sammie and a lot of other people ain't.
Thanks.
Because the long form conversation is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then when we start talking about things that may not even be comfortable, it's not just about bigging you up. It might get weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mind it.
I've had
being
people walk
uncomfortable.
off the show because they got, it got weird for them.
And that's what I was about to say. I don't mind you getting uncomfortable if you can handle it.
Yeah.
Just know your limit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in order to continuously do this way, you can't Yamin me to death. Yeah, I'm saying me to death. Like, I'm not built for it. I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, so this is over. This conversation's over.
But on the radio, you could say, yeah, so play me some, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
It's
then we could
away
break the
to.
monotony up a little bit. So I understand that, where if they come in there for one purpose and one dynamic, not realizing that we're going to really get deep, we're going to pull teeth every week.
Yeah.
But I don't think you went too hard on people.
That's just basic.
And people are already anxious about interviewing and being on camera talking.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's one I've actually received that compliment a few times. They're like, you made it easier. I was nervous when I walked in, but you made it easy. So I'm like, cool, thanks. Like, I don't know how I do it, but it's just a conversation, regular conversation.
You're inviting, and you don't have outward expectations. Like, you don't show that you have an agenda with any of it. And there's a thing that I be trying to explain to people, where, like, if you interview all the time as an artist, you get asked the same 5 questions every fucking where you go.
Yep.
You already check out after they ask you the second question that sound familiar for most people that don't know how to just be professional and thug it out and make it fun for yourself and switch your answers up. Sometimes you can play with the people and lie to them one time, see if they caught it. Like, it's certain shit you can do. You don't have to answer everything. It's all type of things, but it's like, it's monotonous at that point. You know what I mean? You like, oh, this is another one of them. But when you get in there and it's love, and it's like, no, it's really good with you.
Right.
Oh shit, I'm a person. Hold up, dog. I get personal. Then you got all type of emotions that flare
and
up.
they're not sure. They're not sure how to deal with that. It's like, all right, we're here. We're humans. We all do the same thing. Eat, drink, poop, wipe our butt with the same toilet paper. Like, come on, like, put the ego down for a minute and just let's get real.
And a lot of times it's insecurity.
Yeah.
Ego is false bravado most of the time. Especially from what I see out of people that I talk to, like, most talented people in the world. And they put on a costume, put on a cape or whatever for when they go on stage or for when they go into these environments, because they're protecting themselves. They're vulnerable. You know what I mean? You're already vulnerable because you're putting your art out there, but you're also vulnerable because, just like I said to DJ Nate a minute ago, a lot of the motherfuckers we're in the art business. So we dealing with space cadets in the world where you're allowed to be a space cadet.
Isn't that crazy?
And nobody accounts you for it. Nobody wants to understand why you're that. They may appreciate it. They may write you off for it. But they'll never try to get into, like, so what drives you. So you can get away with just putting on the... and pull, you know what I mean? Like, Phantom of the Opera shit.
Like, who knows the real you?
And what are you hiding? Because ultimately, we all know people have things in their past that they don't want to talk about. But if you go to a radio show and it's not formatted for us to have therapy, then we should be able to talk without you getting too, But everybody has their phobias. Everybody has their
Thanks.
phobias. But I do know that what you said is true. You make people comfortable. One of the things that I was saying about my co-host, she makes people comfortable. I love making when she's with me and we have to like deal with people that I may not know so well, or we're at those live events. Because when I draw a blank,
She's the icebreaker.
she on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She'll figure it out when they walk in the room. She'll start talking to them. I'll figure out what I got to say to them. Because,
Right.
sometimes you have these things, you got 3 minutes with each artist, and it's like a rotating thing. It's 5 different media people in a bubble. And you be needing something to get to besides, so what you came to do today? And when I get to drinking.
Right. Right. Now you're like, all right.
All right, so look.
So this is how we're going to do this.
You tap dance.
Yeah, she's personable, though.
No,
Yeah.
but I think that that's something that we get from most of the personalities at Glocawear. I want to say all, but I haven't really watched. We got so many new shows now.
So many.
Shout out to Glocawear. I haven't been able to like. But one thing about it, when people come up to me in the streets and discuss Glocawear, they talk about they felt the vibe, they got love there. It didn't feel like other places. But I think, salute to, once again, Ben, Shad, too. Like, the things that they do at the top makes everything at the bottom easier. It makes it easier for me to do my job with my crowd and whoever I bring through there, because I know that they're backing my play and I know the boundaries.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? This our living room. We gonna treat it as such, but we get to have a house party.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that.
Sammie's gonna stand on the counter, guaranteed at least once a show.
Yo, I took a few shows off, but then it was Nah birthday and I had to give it up.
Yeah,
for my
you
boy.
had to do it.
Happy birthday, my little bro Nah, man. I told y'all he worked hard to make it another year.
Yo, it's hard out here. That's
rough,
yeah, man. Just like you said, we had the pandemic, so that was crazy for folks, and just the mental state of the whole community nowadays is crazy with the gunplay, and it's so excessive, and
it's high levels
hard.
of stress
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'm happy about is I had the awareness at the beginning of the pandemic that I knew it wasn't going to be a 2-week thing. I knew this was going to be some long shit.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I did, like I said, I bought the coloring books. I bought the little bike so I could, just in case I need to ride around. But I told myself I was going to be more patient.
Yeah.
Lines is going to be long. Motherfuckers is going to be assholes. People going to be blowing their horns more. Like, I knew all of that was coming. So you just think about that across the board.
Right.
Everything elevated stress-wise, no matter what you into, whether it's streets
listen,
or...
look at all the
going
people
postal.
with the workplaces,
Yeah.
and then people with kids. Like, now you're just locked down with these kids.
And then they yo-yo you based on what your kids have to do to be able to go to school or not go to school, or you gotta take a class to be able to be in school with them online because it's new math,
yes.
and different understandings, and you ain't touched this stuff since before you ever had money.
I don't understand this new math.
It gets you the same answer.
Yes,
But
why
it's
we
way
gotta
longer.
do it a new way. And they swear it's simpler, right? And I just I don't see it. Maybe I'm just resistant to learning this. I'm not sure, but why does it have to be new?
I move over, I carry I cross out. It's
These
simple.
boxes and all this Chinese arithmetic. I don't know, man. I just want to know what 2 + 2 is.
I'm trying to figure out what we trying to prove because we've been behind in technology a long time.
Forever.
New math ain't about to catch us up. We need to perfect the math we got a little bit better before we start trying other shit.
Right.
All the billionaires figured out a better mode of fucking roller coaster and space travel than anybody did.
Yeah, I don't understand.
How you feel about that? Billionaires are using space as their amusement park.
I think that's a huge waste of money.
It's an amusement park. Like, you literally take longer to get up there than you up there.
Yeah.
You had 0 gravity for 3 minutes, then you on your way
Coming
back
down.
Like,
And how
you
much does
know
that
what
cost? That's like a hefty ticket.
they about to leave us here.
But that's
Them
been
motherfuckers
projected.
is like, yo, man, listen, we done did some digging up over there, some digging up. Now we try to see how long it's going to take to get the kids to school from Mars. Like, they just try, like, it take the same amount of time to put your kid on the subway as it do to shoot the motherfucker
to the
back
moon,
home.
right?
Like, that's crazy. Think about it. You catch a bus in the sun, that's 45 minutes to an hour in Philly.
How much does that cost to shoot them up? One round trip ticket. How much is that?
About the cost of their nanny at that level. Because you know what your nanny got to be able to do when you a billionaire's kid?
Everything.
Your nanny got to speak 6 languages. Manage books. Like, it's different level of free time. You don't get to just play patty cake with my kid. We got chartboards.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's different level, and they
They're
don't get
called
and they don't get to
household
touch
managers.
and they don't get to touch on tablet except on Saturday evening. 3 hours.
After
Everything.
11 p.m.
After fencing, violin, and family TV. This is
Damn.
how you go to sleep.
Oh,
You play a
3
video
hours.
game or you play with your tablet.
I don't want that job, man.
Because you know the ones that create the shit won't let their kids touch it.
Yeah. That's
So you
probably
got everything
true.
in between once you go up that ladder. Like, it's different. It's different, man. This is the world we're in. We thought we was going to have flying cars. These motherfuckers have space
Flying
roller coasters,
yeah.
and we still ain't flying in cars yet.
Right.
Shit
Jetsons
fucked
is
up,
not
man.
here. I want a Rosie the robot.
Yo, you been thinking about that since you was a kid?
Yeah.
You know, Jetsons and the Flintstones is still my favorites.
I don't know. I
besides,
kind of like the
Boondocks.
thing where they push the button and they go through and they shower and they're dressed by the time they get out.
That's cool, too.
Because that thing, sometimes I really could use that.
Especially if it thinks for me. I needed to take out the stress of picking out my outfits.
I think I
'Cause
should
I
have
actually don't
3
take that long to get
options
dressed.
and I can just choose and that's it.
Well, wealthy people buy 100 black shirts, 100 black pants, and 100 of the same Nikes, and they don't have to think of
They don't have
nothing.
to think about
Just
it.
figure out which one is clean.
Right.
Hopefully
keep
they
it in
smell
rotation.
testing. They may do the smell test, I guess. I've actually seen that before. I went to
You saw somebody do it?
no, worse. I know this really wealthy family, and the daughter died young. She died in an accident on Lincoln Drive.
Man.
And we were at a memorial. And the mother was speaking, and she was thanking the cleaning staff and the you know, everybody that house manages. Let's put it that way. And some of their family were there too in support of her and her family. And she took it upon herself to tell the story of how one time she walked in her daughter's room and she caught the cleaning lady smelling her daughter's clothing, and it freaked her out, and she was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And she said, "Well, her clothes are all over the place. I don't know what's clean and what's dirty." But this story actually just said that your daughter was reckless and you embarrassed this lady because she's not here to be your maid today. It was cringeworthy. But it was like, do you realize what you just said, right? Your child has somebody to clean up after them and they still can't separate clean from dirty. That's what you just told people that ain't got money. We all sit out here like, somebody
right.
washes their clothes? Even if
Right.
somebody washed my mom and them clothes, they would have made me wash my shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that life, but like, it's really a different world.
No, like that's a thing. You
That's a
know?
thing?
That's a thing. I was a household manager and I had a great family. I did.
That's a blessing.
It was a beautiful setup. You know, I hope they're still doing well out there. Yeah, you know, take
You're
care of
not
the
still in
kids
communication
stuff.
with the children?
No.
How does that feel? Do you miss them?
At first.
I know the parents you can move away from.
Yeah,
like, they grown.
At first, I was with them for a couple years, you know. So,
They probably different people now, the kids.
right.
They done grown.
Right, God, well, I know how mine is. Crazy. He's 6'2".
And every 3 months is a different mindset.
right, because they're feeling themselves and going through all those emotions and
Figuring it out.
woo.
But that's their job.
Yeah, that's the only job they got. Go to school and
Figure you out.
learn
And
you.
Figure out how you could do you under what I told you these boundaries is. You know what I mean? You can be cool in school, but don't be stupid, because then you ain't going to be cool in school no more, because you ain't get no haircut.
Right. Right.
We ain't get no new sneaks.
Yeah, some kids don't care about that though.
Some don't. But
They're like,
you hit
some-
them where they heard at, man.
But some of them, I'm telling you,
No more.
you get your phone taken away, okay. You get your electronics taken away, okay. You can't go nowhere, okay. You got to clean this, all right.
At that point, I'm concerned. Because all you had to do was tell me no basketball, and I was like,
Right. Like, really? We're not doing that.
Hi. This is Juice from Elevated Entertainment. Is this Font Production? Hi, this is Kay with Fawn Production.
I am calling because I like to get some information on getting my business in order.
Okay, let's see what you have already. Do you have an LLC?
I do not.
Cool. Is your name already trademarked?
I think that is something I would like to get trademarked. I didn't even think about that.
Awesome.
I will be, and I do have a few artists that I work with, and I need to make sure that all of their business is taken care of and their music is covered legally.
Okay. Do you have those registered with a pro?
I do not.
What about your songs? Are they copyrighted?
One does, the others don't, but this is the reason why I'm calling, because it's time for me to get all of those things in order, and it seems like you do all of them.
I certainly do.
One-stop shop.
Absolutely. Let's get started.
I love it.
And mind you, if I felt like it was a long term, I was wilding anyway because I'm not getting it back.
Right.
But if I felt like I could keep it, you had me in pocket. if I felt like I just had to miss a game,
Right.
we was good. But if you like, oh, you done for the season, oh man,
Oh.
I probably wasn't the most fun person around the house during them times.
Right. I can imagine.
But I earned
You
it.
was
I paid full
moody
price for the
AF.
man. I paid full price for every performance I got out the parents of mine. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. The
Yeah.
grand finale and every fireworks and all that. That was me.
That was you.
That was me. I set the box up.
Yeah.
It rained.
Yeah. You lit it and everything. I know. I believe it. I believe it because you're one of them silent killers. You're like, and then the next thing you know, I can imagine how it will go.
Man, I've been working on my mental health for a while.
Good.
Mostly just trying to be self-aware.
Yeah, that's
trying to figure out
most
why.
important.
Cause I feel like we're so toxic that that's just how I am, and y'all just got to deal with it. Is like a
Such
good thing.
Cop out.
It's like a good thing. It's like, yo, well, shit, I ain't shit, so why the fuck you keep expecting me to be nicer or be better? And it's like,
Right.
no, just because you woke up on Monday morning mad that it's Monday don't mean that everybody in the office has to wait till you get coffee and 2 hours of meditation before you say good fucking morning.
Right.
It don't make sense.
Here's my thing, right? Just say, yo, just give me the not right now. Just give me that.
How you doing? I need a little bit of time.
Right.
I'll be right back with you.
Right. That's it. That's all we need
It's
to
cool.
do. Because all
We
of
all
us
go through
right.
shit. But when you looking at me like I'm crazy and all I did was what cordial people do when they walk into a
Right.
building.
Hello. How y'all doing?
And speak to the people. Like, now I've had jobs and I know there's assumptions made because of the cut of my jib. I got the hair. I got the tattoos. They probably assume I'm the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I walk around, speak to everybody in the
Everybody.
motherfucking office, and then it comes back to them like, yo, he's so nice. He's a sweet guy. And Why?
Right.
I had fucked up shit last night. That shit ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
Nothing to do with y'all.
Nothing to do with y'all.
But it's hard to separate.
I'ma
that
make this fucked up too?
sometimes. But you got to be self-aware.
You have to know what your thing is. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell but so many secrets, but I know how to get situated to go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I know when I need a longer shower or whatever have
Yeah.
you, like, just to get my mind right.
Yeah, but that's being self-aware. So self-awareness is like the first.
If you're not a morning person, why are you
Yeah.
supposed to be to work at 8 o'clock every
Don't
morning?
do that. Don't set yourself up.
Your second shift.
Don't set yourself up.
Do
Right.
something that's better for you. And even, I had a job where they let it call you for overtime constantly. Cool. Don't expect me in the morning before 11.
Right. But that's the agreement you probably made with them, and they were cool with that.
That's the understanding.
Right.
It's like, if somebody else calls me by accident, no, ask them. I don't come in before. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I see y'all at 11. I might squeeze 10:30.
Right.
But I was out till 3. So
Yeah.
we're not doing this if y'all want
Right.
me to be productive.
But I mean, that's about communication at that point, and as long as everybody's cool
And you
with
had
it,
a right to that. We
Yeah.
got rotating shifts for a reason. It's not
Yeah.
like you work at a deli and they only open from 9 to 5.
right?
It's not that. Pick your shifts so that you have better days. You'll have less of those battles. I was just saying the other day about you'll leave a job and people will say, damn, you left all that money, not realizing that for a percentage of that money and my peace of mind,
Yes.
I'm running out that motherfucker.
Yo,
You ever experienced that before?
I did. My last job, I quit in November, and I had been there 6 years, and I really thought I was gonna be there for till the lady expired this earth. And I said, for real, like for my own peace of mind, I have to get out of here. Now is my time.
You gotta breathe while you can.
Right, because when you're starting to feel some type of way about entering a situation or doing something, well, you got to take that into account and be like, yeah, maybe this isn't for me anymore, or we got to make adjustments somewhere because this isn't, I'm starting to feel some type of way and I don't like it. So yeah, I left. That was the first job I ever quit in my whole Like, I've always given my 2 weeks, all that kind of good stuff. Like, that was the first one. Yeah, I quit.
I've always tried to give my 2 weeks. I worked in a sneaker store one time, right? I was at Champs. Ain't no big deal. I was at Champs. It ain't like somewhere I can't say. But when I got there, staff was probably about 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was ready to get out of there, I was the only black person there that knew that they was black.
Okay.
And my man was a shift manager that they were using as an assistant manager because they lost their assistant manager, and they ran him out of there. So that was like the last straw for me. So one day I'm all the way in my head, kind of like what you, and at that age I didn't realize that what you just said you realized about your situation, but I knew I ain't want to be there no more.
And I
it
still
wasn't worth
stewed
it.
over that for a little bit. I
No,
didn't just get
I
up
went
and
through
go.
it.
Like, I was like, I think I should do this.
Yeah, I went through it a few more weeks, and then one day they asked me about something that was related to something that was going on in the store, and I'm like, this is no longer my concern. Like, I don't even want to get into this discussion because I don't give a fuck, yo.
Right.
And I said, yo, you know
Right.
what? That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I might have been 15. So it ain't got nothing to do with me. They're like, what you mean? It's about the store. I'm like, but yeah, store don't really matter no more. Like, so what are you saying? I think I'm saying it's my 2 weeks.
Right. I'm out of here.
And I got off work and I told my mom, yeah, I just gave them my 2 weeks. I gotta figure something else out. I'm still hooping and all that. So I didn't need the job, but
Right.
trust me, my parents weren't buying me sneaks.
Right.
So it was like, I needed that, but it was like, not for that. But then she was like, well, what did you tell him? So I told him it's my 2 weeks. I know you're supposed to type it or some shit, but I told him.
Right.
I'll write it out because I thought that's where she was going with it.
Right.
And she was like, just look at the demographics since you've been there. And I'm like, what you mean? She like, I know this a long time ago. He's never going to let you quit before he fires you. And that's when I had to dishonorably like just chalk the whole, not this, but I tried to do it the right way as a young man. But it was like, she was right. She was right. And me being so young, I'd have probably put him in a position to do so. Because I'd have hooked somebody up because I don't give a fuck, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Used to see people coming there with their kids and can't really afford certain shit. And it's like, bro, I could use my discount.
Right.
I could ring this up, swap this. They never miss it. Like,
Yeah.
but you don't do it because you want your gig. At the point where I knew I was out, at that age, fuck y'all gonna do to me? Fire me? Like, they
already
couldn't really,
leaving.
you see what I'm saying? And that's where my mentality would have been at.
Yeah.
But I learned that young too. You can't always wait that 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's anything. Every situation is different. You can go by a set of guidelines or whatever, but you got to really move on what the situation, the reality
Because
of
you
the
still
situation.
want to be able to have references. You still want to be able to utilize things on your resume because you spent your time there. You earned
You
that
don't
recognition.
you don't want to completely burn that bridge. You want to be respectable, but
some motherfuckers is going to set that bridge on fire behind
right.
you. Bad
No
fact,
matter what.
They going to burn it with you
You
in the
just
middle.
know, don't put that person down, or that, you know what, puts down, you work there, but that person don't work there, and I don't know where they go, I don't know
What's
where
the
they work
phone number? You
anymore.
know what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Give you my aunt number. But I don't know. The work thing is something that I think people don't pay attention to. Work, sleep habits. People starting to pay more attention to their diets. But I think like everything else is out of necessity. Like you have to work 3 jobs. Everybody in the house has to, and that means you're not going to sleep.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you regulate those things?
But you know what? You have to find creative solutions.
I take naps.
Take naps. You can find jobs. Like, of course, like we're programmed to think to have to work. We
9
have
to
to work
5s.
a 9 to 5 or something like that. We have to work shift work. But man, look at these creative people that find time within their own schedule to make money. So it's definitely a thing. You just gotta find what works for you.
Talk about something positive that you figured out during the damn-demic.
You know what I really noticed is personally that I think everybody was moping and I felt like I was happy.
That's dope.
Yeah, like I felt like I was part of that. I just kept my nose to the grind and really
Kept figuring shit out.
Yeah, kept moving how I was supposed to move. A lot of times we just, again, like I said, I
Ain't no time to throw your hands up and just, I can't do it.
Yeah, I had did a lot of like thinking. I did a lot of self-care. I did some resting. I did some fun stuff. You know, worked on self, made some new connections. You know, it was good. So I felt like I was in a happy place. And a lot of people just, you know, and I was like, every day I was like, I'm so friggin' happy. Like, people looking at me crazy.
Like, we've had episodes where we would Zoom 4, 5, 6 artists, entrepreneurs, whatever, during the pandemic at the height of it. And ask them how they feeling and what they going through. And they were, I swear, 80% of people we hit up, because we did it probably 2 or 3 different episodes, was optimistic, was thriving, was figuring out new stuff. And then now, how I just asked you, what did you, and we do that to people, and I'm so like, I feel like I'm around the right people, because most of my people figure some new fly shit out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're on the upside of neutral, you know?
Now, I know overall, like, there's people that don't have the outlets that we have. There's people that don't have the resources that we have. There's definitely people that aren't financially in a position that a lot of us are. So that's a different weight. But when it comes down to, like, I know myself, I can get dark. I'm in my head too much. It could get bad.
Yeah, down that rabbit hole.
And I don't. The most I do to harm myself is mentally. So when I get in a bad place, it's usually outward. Other people get hurt. So I'm glad I was able to figure out that it ain't that. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. And the more I kept saying, I was saying it every week on Fly Day. It's okay to not be okay.
It is. Yeah,
I'm not
it
okay.
is.
But I was having a ball while I was doing it, because you're not gonna fuck up my Fly Day. Keep your ass outside if you got the 19th, the 21st, or the 23rd. It's cool. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't not do that. Like, shout out to Glocawear Fly Day. That was my release. When I was in the house all week, I went to the radio station every Friday.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I was opposite.
it's like going to the bar or club once a week after the work week.
Yeah, exactly. I was opposite because I was away at work. But I did the same thing when I came back. I was like, I'm in town for the day. I was excited to be there, and it's just like a positive atmosphere where you can just chill.
Yeah, it's safe.
It's exactly. It's safe. It's a positive vibe, and
everybody has similar intentions.
Yeah, I like that. You never know who's gonna come in there. So like a lot of times you get these pop-up mind wave sessions, and like it
gets ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's banging.
I can't count on my hands how many times I've seen people in there trying to convince somebody that they're a legend. Like, no, bro, you a legend. Nah, fuck that, but you can't.
Right.
But Big Ben, bananas, man, you remember me? No, but bro, you done did a lot, man. You that dude. Another nigga get the mic, bro. You a legend, bro. No, you're not listening to me.
But
Glocawear.
I
be there like, yo, this is
everybody in
beautiful.
there though. Everybody with select few,
Most people have a lot behind them that they've done. Like,
and they're just so humble and just happy to be there.
I didn't have a collective way. Like, if you would have asked me before I was a media personality to explain my network, it was so fucking random. Now being able to have somewhere to channel a lot of it through, at least a large portion of it when it comes to entertainment, I should say. I don't have to say what I do or where I come from or what I've done before that, how I've earned the privilege to be able to speak to certain things, or to say, yo, that motherfucker's dope, that motherfucker needs to work more, this, that, and the third. Like, it's a reason why I'm able to do that, but it's not something that I could wear on a t-shirt. You got to see the people that pop up on me and be like, but no, Sammie was, you know what I mean? And Sammie was,
Sammie know everybody.
no, but it's not even about that, because it's one of those things where you realize my parents made me do a lot of shit growing up. Put me in a lot of programs, had me in camps and where there was no black people, and all type of random shit. And I acted at a young age, and I played ball.
You did different stuff.
So I know everybody from everywhere, and I had my stint in the streets.
Right.
But you'll never know which ones I know from the streets.
Right. You won't know who's who.
But it just be like, you know who they are, you know who I am. And one thing I know is I'm glad I was always respectful and I was never shady. Because I've been an asshole. I've always had a temper. But to do somebody else wrong was never on my thing. You know what I mean? I don't care how bad I was fucked up.
Yeah. I feel you.
I still throw the
There's-
pizza party.
Yeah. Yo, somebody, you know who said that? Nunu said that. She goes, yo, you be around Sammie. Sammie be buying pizza. I said, yeah.
No, because one of my
Pizza.
I have a thing where if we can't share drugs, alcohol, or food,
What are you doing here?
you see what I'm saying? Because ultimately, what can you order for a group of people that everybody can eat? Pizza or wings? Pizza or wings. The easiest thing to order is a pizza.
Pizza. Yeah.
And it'll cost you what it costs you to eat by yourself to get an extra large pizza, and 3 other people can eat with you. And it might not be full. We grown, but motherfuckers
you
ain't
gonna get
starving.
some. Yeah, you gonna get some.
And I've always thought like that. Like I'll never turn away people unless they being greedy for those kind of things. I might not pass you my L, but I give you
The ones that putting it in their pocket. They putting extra slices
or
in
the
their
ones
pocket.
that know
Sammy.
every Friday I can show up and get high and get drunk, and
Yeah.
I ain't got to spend nothing. Nobody even gonna notice because they be having it.
Yo, that's whack.
I don't mind, but
Once in a while, I
the
mean,
problem
cool, but there's
is
the leeches.
when you don't bring it around us. You go and get low and high with your little shorty that you was ducking when you was getting on with us.
Right.
Like, at least come back and reciprocate because nobody's asking for anything.
Tell 'em
This is for the
reciprocity,
building. It don't come
brother.
back to me. I'm not gonna smoke your reefer. I'm probably not gonna drink the bottle you.
Right.
I only drink what I drink.
Right.
But it's for the situation. You see what I'm saying? So when you're taking away from other people that's contributing to the situation on a regular basis, that's not because you fucked up. That's because when you come up, we ain't even on your fucking mind. You know what I mean? And I don't take it personal. I just act accordingly.
That's
Niggas
exactly
have.
it.
There's so many people that have never asked me, "Yo, Sammie, can I?" And I said no.
Right. But like you
man,
said, like that's with everything in
Why
life.
say
You
no
gotta
about
act
food and
accordingly.
alcohol? No, I don't understand that language,
Yeah, act
and I also
accordingly.
don't understand you taking my cognac and pouring a bunch of grape juice in it. Give my bottle back. Go get you some E&J and do what you want to it. You know what I mean? Like I'm fair.
Yeah, tell them. If I catch you, you're not coming back.
Nah, but it's just about respect. It's all about mutual respect.
Right.
But I try to lead with love so that you understand when I come down on you that it's not coming at you. It's that like you don't understand. We in a place where if you go to the store, you ask other people if they need something from the store.
Right. Like you said,
Because that's how we
mutual
keep this
respect.
shit going. If I'm on air and my guests need a water, I can't hop off the joint and go get them a water. Somebody in here will go do that.
Right.
We gotta treat them the same way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's just water.
That's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, that's why I love my team. Shout out to my fly team. Shout out to Toucan and the Legends of Glocawear that keep my machine running because I literally just got to plug and play. You know what I mean? When my time come on, my name pop up on the screen, and
He said, "I show up, I speak, and I leave."
I get to walk away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Motherfuckers don't understand. Like I do this too. This
Yeah.
ain't that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Whole different
Whole
setup.
different set of crates and stage setup. When it comes down to it. But I definitely understand you. So, where is the trajectory? Now that we got more into your natural calling on air, now that you're building more networks and all of that pertain to that, how do you plan on expanding that?
Well,
Whether that's on or off air.
at present, I'm talking to some folks about some holistic festivals.
Dope.
So we'll see where that goes.
What do you envision your holistic festival including?
Some sound baths, maybe some massage. Of course, positive vibes. We like to get high vibes over there.
Yeah, definitely gotta have vibes. The
You know,
vibes
that
is everything.
seems to be like maybe some art therapy. That seems to be like what's going on across the board.
So no mud baths or nothing, or maybe.
No. If it was at a spa, sure. You want to go dig a hole in Fairmount Hill, Lemon Hill?
I don't know where you was planning on festival and that. You got access to all type of people, woman.
Listen, I mean, we're gonna see where it goes.
You might know somebody that got acres already. Like I don't know.
Yeah, wouldn't that be dope? That's a good idea.
Because I want to bring the bonfire back. The bonfire is perfect for the fall, and
Yeah.
you don't even really need a
Where's a
big
good
fire
spot for
pit.
that? We have to talk off air, huh?
Yeah, I could explain to you how I did it last time
Yeah.
off air, but yeah,
Yeah, because that's that'd be
it's
some
a different
dope
energy.
Yeah, listen, I just got a djembe.
Oh, so you go? Okay.
Let's bring the drum circle.
Why not?
And
Why not?
and Amani can burn some sage.
We had
and-
motherfuckers roasting marshmallows.
Yeah, we gonna roast some marshmallows.
Motherfuckers playing musical chairs. It was all type of.
Yeah.
It was a
I can see that.
It was a
being so
potluck.
ridiculous.
It looked like 5 Thanksgivings in one room.
Nice.
Bro, I had the best jerk chicken I had all year there, Rose.
Nice.
Like, this shit was so crazy, and we had over 100
Who
bottles.
made it?
for
Did you tie
everybody.
them up and put them in the basement?
I mean, I still got a lot of them in my pocket.
Yeah.
I ain't had to tie them up. They in the pocket. They ain't trying to go nowhere.
There
They
you
just
go.
wait until I need to pull them out.
Yeah, ring a ding.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, shit, man. I cookouts for over 20 years. It's been plenty of times I done dropped off 100 pounds of chicken within 2 days that needed cleaning.
Yeah, I believe it.
I appreciate these people.
Yeah.
Like, I
believe
love
it.
these people. I will fucking pay for your wedding if you need help.
Yeah.
After some of the shit I put some of these women through.
Right.
And they man had to let them do it.
Just let them do
You
it.
doing all this shit for him? Fuck is he? The
Don't
homie.
worry about it.
The homie. You know niggas, oh, he the homie.
Right.
Like, I'm literally, I'm your best friend, bro. I'm gonna get you a bottle. She don't want no money. I'm gonna bring you a bottle.
Oh,
Like,
man. Right.
it was like that.
Right.
So, you know.
Right, we gotta have that mutual, that reciprocity. Everyone's taken care of here. We're good because I'm gonna need her to do it again soon.
That's why I don't lock nobody in no dungeons, man. You go ahead, breathe. I'm gonna pull you out when I need
Right, I'm gonna make you comfortable.
Big
just
Joker.
get it done.
you. Big Joker. And I still got an aunt or two I can call and split it up 50 head, 50 head if I need to.
Good old aunties.
Man, I'm big on, I'm a big grandma person.
Mm-hmm.
Big on grandma. My grandma that's still alive is 94.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my woman.
Yeah.
And they don't make them like her and her sister. No
Right.
goddamn more. And if you show me one, I'm gonna tell you she's a fucking fake.
That age, like that was the age of the lady that I spent 6 years with, and you know, like that is such a special generation because they experience different things at that turn, you know, with the war and everything, World War II, and different things opportunities women were given, and like she told me all these crazy
Depression.
stories and stuff. So yeah, like that's definitely a special age.
Yeah, and it's crazy because with her being at her age, she's still there.
Mm-hmm.
She move a little slower. But if she say, where you was at last night? And I'll tell her the area, she'll figure it out in a couple minutes. She'll be like, that's right by the such and such and the such and such and such. Now, they might have
The
moved
old things
those
there,
things
right,
by now.
yep.
But she'll describe the whole area to you.
My old lady did the same
And I'll be
thing.
sitting there looking at her like, I don't remember that shit that well, but you right.
Yeah. I'd go
You
Google
right.
it and see what was there, you know, back in the 30s and whatnot. Like, what was there? And she's like, oh, she right.
They tell you it's a 5 and dime. 5 and dime Woolworth. Right. It was a Woolworth. Right. Like
Yep.
it don't even be what you know, it's what you know, but
all
it
the
ain't how you know it.
theaters, you know, I found
All
out
those
through
1 and 2 movie theaters.
I found out through my old lady that she you know, all downtown had multiple theaters on every block. Theaters was like such a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had like these beautiful like the Mass Bomb Theater. You guys got to Google that stuff. It had like marble floors, columns. It was like state of the art. I mean, these were just teenagers going to the movies, diddy bopping on a
We used
weekend.
to go to the little ass theaters out by Lower Marion. You know what them Jones look like? That shit look like
Proudly
the
Castles.
movie. You know, I used to watch the old movies, and they used to like the popcorn stand look immaculate. Like it was
like
that
in the movies.
But you know, they was so old by the time I was coming up that they was coming to the end of their joint. Like they was doing specialty movies, or you know, you come this night you see Die Hard. You come the next night it's a different movie.
Oh,
on.
you remember the Sam Eric on Chestnut Street?
I do remember that.
That thing was so sad looking before they closed it.
I do remember that. And it's crazy because I had an aunt that was our thing. Every week we went to the movies. So her being an adult, we went to different movies. She wasn't trying to go to the same joint all the time.
Right.
So I've been to like
A lot of different theaters.
way too many. I remember one time I got to pick the movie and I picked Regard and Henry.
What the hell was that about?
Shit, for
And
you to be
why
in a-
did you
for
do
you
that?
To be in a mental health, you should fucking know this movie.
I got to look that one up.
That one, and what was the other joint? It was another weird ass movie that dealt with mental health. And I was a kid, but I was into them Jones, and she
Right.
was like, "You picked some interesting shit." Like we
Like,
could have
I'm
went.
not
and
the
go-
average guy here.
we went to the movie so much. It was like if a title caught my attention, or
You've
like
seen all the other stuff, the standard shit.
yeah, it's like I can see the
Yeah.
other shit next week, or I seen it already. Like we seen every Steven Seagal movie,
Oh,
every
man.
John Claude Van Damme movie. If Prince ever put out anything, we watched it in the crib.
Okay, so this was a back in the day thing. Like you did this like in the 80s, 90s. Okay, so since I'm from Maine, how did you feel about Stephen King? Did you watch all those movies back in the day?
Watched a lot of them. I didn't get a lot of them because I was young when he was rolling, it and all of that shit.
Yeah.
Like I was young, but I was one of those kids that didn't mind scary movies.
Yeah.
Like I always saw them. But now when you watch them now, you be like, I ain't even peep. That was crazy.
Yeah, right.
Like that's
Right.
kind of nerve wracking. But I used to watch all of
Right.
that shit. I used to
Yeah.
watch everything because my sister's 4 years older than me.
Right. So you was always the tag along.
I didn't have no real choice.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I wanted to be grown, so
That
I
was
wasn't.
me and my
If they
cousin,
picked
my
it,
older
it must have
cousin.
been the shit.
Yeah. You had to go do it because they wanted to do it.
You know what I mean? I knew way more about Sade and Alanis Morissette than anybody else in my fucking class did because my sister was eclectic. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I knew all of that shit. To this day, I'm way over there sometimes.
Right.
Shit, you can hear it in my music sometimes. But like, that's what people don't get. Like I was the baby.
Yeah.
I was around. Like Clev and them used to be in my crib when I was a kid, changing curse words. Like yo, fat boy. I heard Wiggins was talking ish about you, cuz they was talking ish about you, cuz you couldn't cuss in front of my parents in their house. These niggas was in the streets, like yo, man, Clev was out here, but like they was in my living room. You know what I mean? 17 years old, bunch of chains on and all that cool shit. And then I go to church Sunday. You walk in the church, polo with a bunch of chains on. Like I grew up at an interesting
Right.
era. Like I tell people, like if you grew up in Philly during my time, the Israelites was on your head, the Muslims was on your head, the 5%ers, like everybody was on one. And then there was Vacation Bible School on every other block. Like you got a speech everywhere. And if you grew up in certain neighborhoods, you grew up under the JBM or the whatever. You know what I mean? You always had
Right.
something that you had to strive towards or abide by. You couldn't just be a nothing ass nigga. You could be the drunk 5% boy or the high Israelite, but you had to have some knowledge of like what you was trying to do and what we was here for. So like there was an interesting time because it was like that's what hip hop was. So I had a lot of understanding about shit, Gangstar and all of them was talking about that my homies couldn't relate to because now we talking about knowledge itself and things that like I remember being like, bro, we just left Vacation Bible School because we play in the church basketball league. You standing here with a 40 preaching to me right after that. He like, but I tell you in the Bible where it's okay. Like, all right, bro. Like, I've been through that. You know what I mean? This is real stories. And it just be like, that's why can't nobody second guess my doctrine. I give it up how I give it up, but it comes from a real place and it comes from actually running a fucking race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the experience. You know, that's exactly what I say. You know, I learned through that, you know, the learning process, the maturation process, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the, you know, whole path. And that's how you can be, like you said, you give it to them real. Like,
do you have a vision board?
I don't. Uh-oh.
No, because I said that, and I think that probably automatically puts you in the mind of a physical one. Do you have any variation of one?
I'm more of a list. Like I'll write a list.
It's the same, but, we
like
all
not
intake
the-
differently,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm more
Some
of a
people got
list.
put on their bathroom mirror.
Yeah, I have like my wants, my needs. I have like, you know, these are qualities. I list qualities of things I want and how I want to obtain them.
How often do you not revisit it? How often do you revise it? How often do you make a new one or whatever, depending on your process?
Well, I mean, kind of like when I feel like, oh, okay, I have this under my belt right now. So what's the next thing?
So you don't put a time limit on it. It's not like every 6 months or annually or
You know,
seasonally. You know, people do
Yeah, I know.
resolutions. That's once a year. You
They're
know what
really
I mean?
organized with it. But
I think sometimes that's unfair though.
yeah, exactly, because human expectation is that we get things done, but sometimes life comes into play. So you just got to take that into account and not be hard on yourself.
And you should constantly be adjusting.
Yeah.
Constantly. You can't wait on one far away date to do some shit that you could.
Do right now.
Yeah.
Why are we doing it Wednesday when we could do it right now?
That's how we got here today.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I ask people that because there are a lot of people that always tell you, well, you got to plan it out and you got to do this and that third. And it's like, all right, a lot of people that'll tell you they got a vision board, that's a 20-year vision board with 10 things on it. Think about that. Now then think about your personal vision board, which are immediate things.
Right, what we're doing today, this week, next
So
week, this month.
how often you revisit that becomes important. Or
Yeah.
how often you revise it becomes important because you
You're
have
gonna
to
get
be
stuck
aware
in the parking
of-
lot.
you could say, yo, I want to be on Sway in the Morning by next year. And you get there in 6 months. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you was
Now what's
almost
next?
there. You was easing there the whole time, but you never adjusted to figure out after Sway, how do I make this work? Like, what's the after Sway? Like, you know, the roller coaster shit. We here now.
Right.
How we finish the ride? And you so caught up on Sway that you don't realize, nigga, I'm one contact away from Sway. I need to do the shit that he's going to require from me if I need to do real business with him now before I get to Sway.
Right. You have to already be. You have to be who you want to be before you're really that person, if that makes sense.
But not in a fake it till you
Right,
make it way.
right.
You have to over prepare.
Right.
You have to pick songs and not know what's going to happen with them and spend some money to make sure that they're covered. Before anybody could tell you that, sometimes before anybody could tell you they're valuable. You know what I mean? It's like patenting some shit or trademarking some shit because it might catch.
Right.
You got to do the same thing as an artist. I don't know if you're aware of this or you're aware of this. One of the things that I've noticed, I watched something recently. What was it? And they said a lot of the graffiti artists, they all got lawyers on retainers.
I believe it.
So motherfuckers do these photo shoots, Calvin Klein in front of, all this shit, and niggas shoot big videos in front of. That nigga has a lawyer that is waiting
That's smart.
for his slick in the background of your thing, and he's going to get paid. And you're going to say, but it's not even legal for him to be on that wall. Tell his lawyer that does this shit all day.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? They protect themselves. So we look at things like, well, it's not that yet. No, this nigga hit up a building illegally and still found somebody to cover
A
his ass.
loophole, right.
That's business.
That is business at
When
its
you can get paid
finest.
for fucking vandalizing somebody
Yep.
else's shit,
Yep.
for every person that does it, imagine you got the illest Biggie piece and everybody do a joint in front of your joint. You get to charge Universal and every other label.
Yeah. Do murals,
Like you was the
everybody.
Beatles, though. Like, no, I need 200% of art, whatever artists get. Because you said it because they didn't ask you.
Yeah. Exactly. They didn't come to you with that.
That's amazing, right?
Damn.
Why you think they signatures? Like, this shit is real shit. You know the community. You know the community. I know the community. I don't know if all of the ones we know got lawyers on retainer.
Right. Probably
But the
not.
big boys, the ones that is, them things is looking like murals, they know you coming already. When it ain't just a name,
Right.
they know you coming already.
Right. Especially
it
when
look
it's
like
something like you
It
said, like
matches sneakers.
Biggie.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Something. Just look into it. It's a real thing. It's one of those things. It's like how people buy other people's domains before they could get them and sell them to
Yo,
them.
okay, so
That's big
first
business.
and foremost, go to rosieporter.com, ROSIE-porter.com.
That part.
Yeah, that part. And somebody bought the RPX, so that's where that came in. Thanks for the segue.
Wow.
They're not doing anything with it, so as soon as it comes available, I'm going to connect it to. But yeah, in the
But
meantime,
you see what it was. They saw the value.
but it's cool.
That's crazy.
You know what
like,
the crazy part is? That's cool because my real name, my name. So it's cool. I got my name.
Nah, you good. But
Yeah.
it's a world out here. That's a business.
Yeah.
That's
We
big
were
business.
just talking about that. We went to a whole seminar, the whole shebang. Like the lady was talking about it.
Like, yeah, if you got a couple extra dollars, you hit the lotto or some shit, just buy a bunch of domains and just wait.
Yep. Wait for
It's
it.
crazy. Like, watch the Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
When they was about to pick a new name, is a dude that guessed 30 to 50 names they was in.
Cause they're like you can
Register
get them
them
for
all.
$1,
Yeah, he registered all of them, and then they would watch the football team.
and they
Nobody
want it.
bet
and
on
they-
that.
Yeah. And buy that shit.
And he's probably the reason. Like, this one person probably took all the good names, bro. Can you imagine that in a $1 billion industry, $1 trillion industry?
So how much did he get paid?
They didn't buy his.
Oh.
They went with the super generic name, the
The
one
stupid
nobody was
one.
gonna fucking register.
Right.
But probably based on the fact that it wasn't on the list.
Right.
Like, you know how they was like, we gonna give y'all a new name by this date. It probably got crazy trying to figure that out.
Yeah, right.
Look it up.
Yes,
Nope,
dude.
it's taken. It's taken. I've been through that process before. We started on Your Work Network. You know what I mean? Which is essentially another YouTube. That name was a name that I came up with. As soon as you register the name, it tells you how much that shit is valued at before you even put anything on it. And that name was worth way more than SippinWitSammie.com was. I'm going to just tell you that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to that shit because
Right.
of name recognition, certain words. It's all the algorithm shit came into Your Work Network. Crazy.
Well,
We learning, man. We learning. And I'm a marketing major. Clearly, you was in the trying to figure out
something.
people like us. Half the people that really dig into you probably supposed to be in class with me.
yeah, right. I mean, I did go for start to go for like accounting and stuff, but listen,
See, accounting was
I had
part
to
of my
get
shit.
out of there.
Because business accounting is part of it. Econ was cool, but it's just a weird place. It's like you need the paper. You need that. You
Yo,
need that. You need that certificate.
I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I've always been able to get into places without the paper.
No, I'm not saying you needed to do it. I'm saying ultimately, after you go through all of that, you learn certain things that you would have probably already learned in business.
Yeah.
But you're in it for that signature on that piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
In theory, it's easier to get what you want that way, but you don't always need it. Just remember that.
And ultimately, when
Don't
you graduate,
limit yourself.
you're going to go into the real world and you're going to work behind the guy that went to that job right after high school.
And half the time now they can't even find, the jobs that they went to school for.
No.
Or they change it.
65, 70% of people don't work in a major after they graduate.
Right.
You want an easy one, go into education. Get the least amount of credits you can get to
Yeah,
graduate
just to
in
get
most
out,
programs.
say you got the college degree.
They ain't anything with that shit. You can go on sociology all the time. Never mind. We get into the college shit.
Right.
But see, y'all see what Rose did to me, right? I'm going to tell the audience. I started talking about Rose and Rose background and all the cool shit Rose do. And Rose just kept opening up opportunities for me to talk about myself.
Yeah. It's called conversation now. It's cool.
But we'll have Rose back. Ultimately, I do want you to co-host an episode with me because we've been on air together. Like this is introducing you to the Sippin' with Sammie crowd, but we already know that we could chop it up and do this shit. So one thing for sure, two things for certain. When I do have one of those conversations that I'm like, you know what? We're going to make sure this is well-rounded. I'll bring the Rose through, especially if South can't make it because shout out to her. She been killing. She's doing a lot, man. Proud of my people, man.
That's what's
Proud
up.
of all of y'all.
Working hard. That's what's up.
Building brands. Shout out to Font Productions. Okay. She got a new single, by the way.
That song's fire. I don't care.
Yeah, I think we might play it after this.
Yeah. Kay did her thing.
I think it might come on at the end of this episode. But nah, you are appreciated, Rose. Your time is appreciated. Tell the people how to get more of the Rosie perspective, how to be an asset to you too.
Well, you can check me out on socials at the RPX, THERPX, or at the website, and everything is, you can get on everything. I haven't been on Twitter forever, but listen, there's a link for that. You can click it. I'm on all of the stuff. You can send me an email, connect with me, go to rosieporter.com, and you can schedule a coaching session. Oh, yeah, Sammie, we do some life coaching and financial wellness as well. We offer those services.
I'm aware, but tell them.
So, you guys, if you're interested, have a show idea for the X Radio or want to tune in, the link is on there as well. So just tune in and enjoy, enlighten yourself.
What I'm going to tell you about Rose is if you appreciate the way that my folks in this realm give it up, then you'll appreciate Rose. As long as you come to her the way that, you know what I mean, with genuine energy, you're going to have a good time. Because Rose is not there to grandstand. She's not there to win. She trying to make sure motherfuckers is figuring some shit out. And that's something that I've always gotten from you, and I want to salute you on.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
you've never made it about, look at me, look at me.
I'll sit in the cut all day long. Y'all do that.
I've seen you uncomfortable. I've seen you on some shows and you just sat there like, like look at Rose. Look
Sometimes
at
it's talk when when the conversation is relevant to you, especially if you have a panel. Sometimes it's not.
People don't understand panels for one.
Yeah.
And I was raised in barbershops, and you learn at a young age speak when spoken to.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, you figure like you can interject in a lot of this shit, and then you realize they
That's
weren't
not gonna
talking
work.
about.
Right.
They was talking about basketball, but they wasn't talking about just bouncing the fucking ball. Niggas got stats on Reggie Miller that you don't know yet. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta chill.
Right. It's
Then
not
you
your
could up your
place.
conversation when you go back to school.
Right.
If you just chill. But if you keep interrupting the conversation, you in the way. Go outside, play, do something. What you doing?
Yep.
And you used to want to be around that conversation because there was a time where we respected the OGs and we looked at these men that came through. My dad barbershop had everything from Cool C to one of the biggest judges in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I've seen Hilltop hustlers come through with the Eddie Murphy jackets with the hat. You remember the era? They ain't had the same jackets, the Slick Jones with the hats with the
cappy
Hilltop
cap.
hustlers on big ass gold ropes and all that shit. My dad was the first person I seen with a Cool C record and it was autographed. I'm like, Cool C? He said, you talking
Do
about?
I ever?
He said it like it was Calvin. You
Right.
talking about Calvin from down the block? Like it was like that.
Right.
And I'm like, the glamorous life, nigga.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yep.
like I used to be in the shop and it took for Cool C to come out for me to realize who the Hilltop Hustlers was.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I had been around them before his song took off.
Yep.
Because the barbershop is in that neighborhood. We down the hill from Overbrook. So it's just one of those things where it's like I learned early that sometimes it's just about being in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have an advantage of and what we're privy to a lot of time, especially through combining networks, is being in those rooms.
Right.
Now, what we make out of those rooms is on us. Because I can introduce you to somebody and say, yo, this motherfucker makes the best sage in the world.
Right.
He has the best festivals ever holistically, this, that, and the third.
It's on
You can
y'all
shake
to
his
make a
hand,
move, though.
take a shot with him and walk away from him and never reconnect with him. It's not my job to be like, did you get back with him?
Right.
Even though I might do that.
Right.
Once you say no and
But-
don't follow up at that, I'm not
Yeah, be
doing
like,
that
"Alright,
no more.
Right. We did that. We crossed that bridge.
Yeah, so I just think that type of stuff is important to just realize, like, how to take advantage of. No matter where your mentality is at, you got to push your shit to the right motherfucker.
And that's it. It's a time and place for everything. So, I mean, what is going on around you might not be relevant to you, like you said, So you just got to be mindful and kind of catch your opportunity when you can.
Nah, but that's why you going to be great, because everybody that you've ever touched or affected, even if you ran them off because they wasn't willing to deal with themselves, they're going to remember that you was the one that put them in the realization that they had something they needed to figure out.
That seed was planted, man.
Yeah, that Tupac shit, man, might not change the world, but I'm going to plant the seed. It's one of the realest things, man. It's like we seen it through Nipsey. You know what I mean? We've seen it evolve. We just got to keep pushing the pen.
Yeah.
Pushing the envelope. They call that the envelope.
Yeah. People
rapper, I
have
said
to
the
pen. Yeah, We know where you were going with it.
Yeah, but the envelope. But no, I appreciate you, man. It's been a great joint. You know what I mean? We've had a long day, so I'm going to go back and put my motherfucking feet up. But this has been and forever will be Sippin' with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. And if you ain't got a rosy perspective, get you one.
La 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 la. You make me feel so good. I'm so happy you came in my life. And I'm normally misunderstood, but understand this love is so right. You run so deep in my soul. I'm so glad that we crossed paths. I know this here is forever, 'cause this love was built to last. Your smile and your face, I can't see no taking your place. So take me into your arms now. I feel safe in your embrace. You make me feel so good. I'm so happy you came in my life. And I'm normally misunderstood, but understand this love is so right. You're my man, I'm your woman. Our foundation is oh so strong. Your kiss is my weakness, I'm feeling faint. Haven't felt this good oh so long. You're warm, you're tall. I melt with every word. Not only my lover, you're my best friend. That's always putting me first. You make me feel so good. I'm so happy you came in my life. And I'm normally misunderstood, but understand this love is so right. Come on. He makes me feel so good. He got me feeling so good. He makes me feel so good. He got me. La 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 la. Do 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 do. La 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 la. You make me feel so good. I'm so happy you came in my life. And I'm normally misunderstood, but understand this love is so right.